20 minutes before the hour, Daybreak Live for a Thursday morning. Coach Chris Smelley is head football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies. Joins us this morning. Coach, good morning to you.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
You second year at Sylacauga High and the second year as far as the head football coach is concerned. And, some people think, well, they coach football and that's all they do. And, there's a lot more to just coaching in the game, and you're going through some stuff right now with the student athletes.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much turned into a year-round setup to try to be good and try to be competitive. Once the season ended last year, we gave the guys a little bit of time off, and then we jumped right into our winter workout program. And so, kind of the focus from January up to spring training is trying to get bigger, faster, stronger. Get as many guys in the weight room as you can, and sometimes you got to balance that with guys doing multiple sports and all that. And so our guys have done a good job collectively as a group of getting a lot stronger, and we've seen some good improvement in the weight room.
How important is the strength program?
I mean, it's vital. You can't be competitive at this level of football without having guys not just in the weight room, but actually like the way that they work and the way that they compete in the weight room. And so that's been a big thing that we've really tried to focus on is it's not just about being there. It's about, what kind of attitude and energy you're bringing in there as well.
Yeah, and it's not just with the senior high. It's with the younger students as well, and younger kids as well.
Oh yeah, it starts with, it actually starts in your middle school program. And we've spent some time with them. I've actually gone over there was days where I've been going down to the 7th and 8th grade workouts and trying to get those guys excited.
It's a lot different 7th and 8th graders than juniors and seniors, isn't it?
And we've been doing middle school spring training over at Nichols Lawson the last 2 weeks, and so a lot of our varsity coaches have been down there with those guys, and so giving them a lot more coaches to be able to do a little bit more. And so we've got 60 guys that have gone through spring training. They're actually at 9 o'clock today having a little inter-squad scrimmage in school to go play in front of their friends and stuff. So excited for those guys.
And Sylacauga, even though it was a challenging year last year, you ended on a pretty good note.
Yeah, I mean, we had a very tough schedule and a lot of things that we were trying to overcome. But our guys competed. I mean, we competed throughout the entire year. It took us a while to get that first win. But even before we had gotten a win, our guys still practiced the way that you want to practice. They competed the way that you want guys to compete. But I think, winning can be contagious in a lot of ways. And so about game 6 or 7, we got really close versus Beauregard, who had a good football team last year, and blew a 3-touchdown lead.
Should have won the game easily.
Yeah, blew a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. But I really would put that back on culture. It's just that contagious of winning and losing. And then when we beat Tallahassee the next week, and then played Piedmont, who is perennially a fantastic team. They do a really, really good job. And we were down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. We had won the previous week, and then we figured out a way to win in overtime to end the season last year. And so, that was a big step for us, getting those 2 wins towards the end of the season and kind of
So talk about the importance of learning how to win.
I mean, it's habitual. It's your habits. It's what you learn to do, and so you hard work and bringing a good attitude and bringing good energy are habits. And so it's learning how to do all those small things the right way, and then those eventually will lead to some good bigger things.
For those who don't know Chris Smelley, give us a little bit about your background coaching wise.
Well, I mean, I've been coaching now. This will maybe be my 10th year or so as a head coach, but 12, 13 years overall. I was a dual sport athlete in high school. Went and played college football at South Carolina, played baseball at Alabama, and wasn't really wanting to get into coaching. It wasn't like I grew up wanting to be a coach. I ended my college with a finance degree, and thought I'd be in the business world doing something. Quickly got into coaching and just fell in love with it. Love the idea of being involved in high school athletes, where such a moldable, important time in kids' lives, and so I'm doing what I want to be doing and excited about it. Feel like every day I wake up at Sylacauga and head into work, and I got a mission and a lot to accomplish and a lot of work to do, and so excited to be doing what I'm doing.
You came here to win. And that's what you intend to do with this program at Sylacauga High School. Mediocrity is not a part of the plan. It's the top of the food chain where you want to be.
No, I mean, absolutely. I think anybody that has that competitive nature, competitive drive about them, you know, it's not the focus is on winning, but it's about the process of trying to be your best in everything that you do. And so I talk about that with our team all the time. And there's guys that I've had some friction with because I don't like to be average and mediocre and just coast through. And so, you know, I said, you know, look, we're going to continue to have problems because, you know, high achievers and guys that are just okay with just going through the motions usually don't get along very well. So I've tried to kind of push that to our players. We've got a group of about 20 players, 20 seniors that are really buying into what we're doing.
It's a pretty good group, 20 seniors.
It is a good group, and it's a group that's worked hard, a group that has got a little bit of taste of winning and what that looks like, and so they're excited to kind of continue to move forward.
Well, the schedule is much better this year than it was the last couple of years. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think our schedule the last cycle, the last 2 years was super tough. Region schedule was very competitive, and then our non-region schedule was, you know, all playoff teams, a lot of perennial state championship type teams, and so our schedule does look more competitive this year, more teams that, you know, I feel like we'll be able to compete well with, so we're excited about it. You know, there's a lot of hard work that's been put into this season, and it's still a ways to go, you know, but that time goes by really fast, and before long we'll be kicking off Friday night at 7 o'clock, so we're ready to go.
Talk about the summer program, what's expected of your young men, and talk about, is there going to be some 7-on-7 or anything like that?
Yeah, you know, we do a lot of competitions during the summer. I think we're probably going to 2 or 3 different 7-on-7 type events, going to some college campuses for coaches to be able to see our players. But we work out 3 to 4 days a week. Super excited about some of the things that we're doing within the program. We're actually this summer going to be installing a brand new weight room in the existing field house. I've been working closely with Dr. Michelle Eller and being able to do that, and our board is behind us with that. So we're super excited about that and some other improvements that we have going on. So just trying to change our culture and where we're at, and continue to push these guys to be their best.
Talking with Coach Chris Smelley, the head football coach of Sylacauga High School Aggies, and you know, college football, the landscape has changed so dramatically in the last 3 to 4 years, especially in the last 2 years. Do you see that trickling down to high school at some point?
I mean, as far as the NIL stuff and all that, I think absolutely. You know, it's only a few years away. It's already been passed in a lot of different states. I know in Georgia, I think Louisiana. And so, you know, once that ball gets rolling, it usually continues to move. And, you know, it has changed college sports a lot. You know, you don't see guys stick around as long, and especially man, you look at like basketball. You know, it's such a smaller roster size, and you know, I'm a big Alabama basketball fan, and seeing Alabama make a big run to the Final Four, and now half their teams
turn over the whole roster,
and it seems like you're going to turn over the roster most years. Is just kind of the way that it looks if you've got a good team. And it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's just the way that we're going.
Coach, being a high school guy, how does, and played college football as well, how does this affect coaches on a high school level with NIL or something similar to that? I mean, you don't know who's going to be here and who's not going to be here and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you know, we're not having to deal with it yet. But I feel like it might create sort of just this like entitlement feel from kids.
You're not into that a whole lot, are you?
It's not gonna mess with, you know, the majority of guys. It'll just be a few small things and maybe a few elite type players, which obviously would change the face of your program at the high school level. But I feel like Alabama High School is going to be able to kind of figure out how to navigate it and how to do it the right way. And I think most of the coaches within the state are going to try to do things the right way and make it where it's beneficial for our guys.
Who's some kids that you're leaning on for leadership for this Aggie club come fall?
Yeah, we got a number of seniors that have been working hard. A couple guys that stand out. Offensive lineman Michael Funderburg, who started for us last year, has been working really hard. Our quarterback, C.J. Franklin, we need him to continue to progress a lot and mature this year. He'll be a rising junior. They got some playing time last year. A number of different running backs that'll be able to contribute. And then we got to find some guys in the secondary. Our secondary is going to be a little bit young. We graduated a lot of seniors last year. We got a lot of talented guys, and seeing who steps up in that group.
What's it like playing for Coach Chris Smelley?
I try to create a positive atmosphere, try to bring a lot of energy to the program, and I think that having a high standard of what's expected to be a part of the program is important. And so I've had to navigate through that a little bit. And you come into a school, you come into a new culture, and you got to sort of get a feel for where it's at. But the goal is to continue to push for excellence and try to see our guys go through our program and come out on the other side as better men, better husbands, better fathers, better employees one day because they came through our program.
Before we go this morning, we're chatting with Coach Chris Smelley, the head football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies. A couple of months ago, you made news on another level and could have lost your life. And talk about that just a bit. I know it's been newsworthy. Every news station almost in the United States got wind of that. And talk about how that developed and your thoughts now a couple of months after the event.
Yeah, we were on a family vacation at the beach, and I like to go kayak fishing when I'm down there, and just get out in the ocean there, not too far from shore and all that kind of stuff. But I got out one morning and pretty early. The beach was empty, and before long I turned around to try to come back in, and the wind was just blowing so hard that it was impossible to paddle in. So I got to spend 12 hours out in the ocean, and before a Coast Guard helicopter found me, spotted me and found me, and a man came and rappelled down, and that whole scene.
You were glad to see him,
it was like a movie or whatever. But yeah, that was it was a trying time, honestly, more for my family than it even was for me.
The unknown.
My wife and kids obviously super worried, and I never would have imagined that it would have turned into this big spectacle that it did. But it was really neat to see the response here locally in Sylacauga, and coaches statewide and former players, and just so many people that just reached out to me over the course of that day. Man, it was hundreds and hundreds of text messages that I honestly, there's probably still some that got buried that I never was able to hardly respond to. It was definitely a learning experience. I really didn't get hungry. For me, it was wavy out there. It was a long day and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't feel like my life was in immediate danger while I was out there. I think I was maybe like 6-7 miles offshore, but I could still see the shoreline. I didn't feel like it was. It was a true life and death situation, but I know people on shore, specifically my family, definitely, and it could have been a life and death situation, but thankfully it didn't get that close for me.
No doubt about it. We're glad you're okay, and family and friends breathed a deep sigh of relief on you being okay, and football season is just a couple of months away and a lot of hard work to do before then, but we appreciate you taking the time to come in. Look forward to working with you on Coach's Corner this fall.
Absolutely. Thank you. Head
football coach of the Sylacauga Aggies, Coach Chris Smelley, joins us. We've got more Daybreak just ahead. Don't go away.